It was highly segregated. The communities were separated. Mostly whites lived in certain areas and blacks lived in others. And this area during that period was actually in the county, and it was generally run down. And the areas that housed most of the blacks in the area were run down worse than any of the others. An area called Boxtown, and this area was so run down until they had all had outdoor toilets, and they lived in shotgun houses, very, very poor, and there were no whites living in that area.
During the years of segregation, and I remember some of the things that we went through, that we faced, and we overcame. I remember the march, the sanitation march here. I remember going to the speech that Dr. King gave over at the church, the mountaintop speech. I happened to be there in that night to hear that. It was storming outside, strange. After he was assassinated, I remember the tanks. I remember one tank in particular on the corner of 3rd and Macklemore when I was on my way home. This was after he was assassinated. I know how I felt. I remember all the burning and things like that.
It was pretty rough because we had curfews, and they had National Guard riding around all through the area, and you couldn't get out of the house. I mean, if they come right through here, you'd be sitting on the porch. Especially during curfews, you had to go on the inside. And if you was working at night, you had to get your boss to sign a statement that you just leaving work, so if the police would stop you, you'd have some kind of excuse for being out.